I watched 40 of the films that came out in 2025, and today I thought I would rank them for you lovely people. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Sydney. I'm an actress and writer. I'm a student, so that's why you haven't seen me in anything. Although I was in Vogue in the fall, so that's something. Okay, 40 films, 25 of which I saw in theaters. I'm keeping their lights on. I made a tier ranking thing to rank all 40 of the 2025 releases that I watched. Some of these were really big blockbusters, others like 5 people watched. And I wanted to make this video because I put upwards of 80 hours of my life into the 2025 film run. And I wanted to let you guys know, you know, what's worth your time, what maybe isn't. I'm hoping that like I can give you suggestions. I can steer you clear from the less good movies that you shouldn't maybe waste your time on. Now, you might be wondering, Sydney, it is February. Why are you posting this now? This is kind of a end of 2025, very beginning, like first week of 2026 video. Shh. Basically, I had like 5 more on my list that I really want to finish before I made this video. So I spent January wrapping up my to watch list. So I was like, you know, it's award season. This feels like an apt time to throw in my hat on what I thought of 2025 in film. 2 big releases from this year that I did not watch are F1 and Wicked for Good. I don't think I'm missing any other big releases that you're not gonna find on this list. Also, there were so many good movies this year, like so many that weren't talked about because marketing has just become absolutely insanely expensive. So hopefully my list will introduce you to some films that are really, really good that you haven't heard about. Let's get into the ranking. To start us off, let me go through the different tiers. At the very bottom, we have I Have a Bad Feeling About This. That's for the movies I really hated, that I'm really sorry I suffered through. That just did not hit any mark. Next up we have We're Gonna Need a Better Script. Like, you know.
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
Any takers? No? That's okay. These are for movies that aren't horrible, but really were missing quite a few key elements. A lot of these could have used a better script. Just didn't really do it for me. Weren't all around bad, but just didn't do it for me. Our middle tier is, you know what? Yeah. These are kind of middle of the road movies, not perfect, reasonably enjoyable. Yeah. Our A tier is That Indescribable Feeling. These are 4 really, really, really good movies. I had a great time at the theater. I would recommend them to pretty much anyone. Awesome time, we're so back. And my S tier, absolute cinema. These are for those movies that changed my life, that absolutely defined 2025 in cinema for me. Just absolute perfection. The order in which I'm gonna go through these movies is not in the order I watched them, but in the order they were released in theaters, or if they didn't have a theatrical release, the day they were put on like a streaming platform. There's one in here, Life of Chuck, which premiered in 2024, but it wasn't released in theaters until 2025, so it is a 2025 movie. In my book, holy shit, there's 40 fucking movies. Why did I do that? More next year. We're doing 50 movies in 2026, I think is my goal. Alright, first up is Companion. Look, this movie disappointed me. I liked what they were going for, like it was a good concept with the bot. It didn't hit for me. It really didn't. Maybe it needs to be scarier. I don't know. I'm gonna put it in We're Gonna Need a Better Script. Next up is Mickey 17. The concept for this movie was so good. Robert Pattinson is an extremely talented actor, but I think this movie suffers because it's a farce, because it's satirical. I think Don't Look Up really popularized kind of more recent satirical jabs at like politics and our current government, which, don't get me wrong, is an absolute circus, but I think they're doing it in an attempt to change the minds of He Who Shall Not Be Named supporters, and they're not the people who are gonna watch these movies anyways. So I feel like the farcical aspect just kind of takes away from the message, doesn't have it hit as hard, There were things I really liked about Mickey 17, but I honestly felt it would be much better in a more serious way. So I think this is also gonna go and we're gonna need a better script. Okay, next we have The Ballad of Wallis Island. I watched this a couple nights ago. It's a really sweet movie, very calm. I feel like one could enjoy this with like a really big knit blanket, like a cup of tea. It is slow, and I watched it when I was really tired, so I did hit a couple like, you know. I know some people who really, really like this movie, so if that kind of slower, kind of relationship driven, but like in a chill way, movies, if those are really your thing, you're gonna like this. I think for me, this is gonna go into, you know what, yeah. You know what, yeah. It's a good movie. I don't know that it was totally for me. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Sinners, which now holds the record for most Oscar nominations of any movie. Dude, I saw this movie in like August or September. Most of my friends are in relationships and they all went to see it on like different date nights, so I didn't have any friends to go see it with, and then I had to wait for it to come to streaming. I didn't see it in theaters. That makes me so sad. But I was so excited because I heard period piece in the South with vampires. I was hyped up. The cinematography is so good. The performances are insane. The music is so good. Ryan Coogler is a genius. Love this movie. This is going in absolute cinema. One of my best friends hates this movie. Hi, Ren. She does not like it. I don't know why. I don't know why. I love it. So good. It balances genre so well. I mean, it's like kind of a musical, but really pushes the boundaries of what a musical can be. It's kind of a horror movie, but honestly, it feels reductive to call it a horror movie because it's just so much. Okay, I need to move on. Oh, next up we have Until Dawn. Bad. I think this is bottom. I think this is the worst thing I saw in 2025. I don't have that much more to say about it. It's a bad movie. Next up we have Thunderbolts. I used to really like Marvel movies, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Age of Ultron. I mean, I think everyone can agree Marvel has fallen off since COVID, essentially. I mean, like, look, I like Bucky Barnes, I like Yelena. Ghost, Ava Starr, is the most underutilized character in the MCU by far. Her lore is so cool, her powers are so cool. She was introduced in Quantumania with Research iPad! Wait, no, not Quantumania. Guys, I f***ed up. Ant-Man and Wasp, yeah. So Ghost was introduced 8 years ago, and they still haven't figured out how to properly use her. Right. I don't have a connection to these characters the way I did with, you know, Tony Stark and Wanda and Black Widow and Peter Quill and Ant-Man and all those. Look, it had funny moments. We're gonna need a better script. Next we have Bring Her Back. This was a pretty good horror movie. I needed a little bit more of a lore explanation for the things that were happening. I mean, like, generally I'm like, I don't need everything explained to me. Like, some things can be kind of left to the imagination, but I just needed a little bit more than we were given. It was gross. Spoiler alert, that kid like chewing on the table and then, oh my god, I forgot about that. When the kid like has like a giant kitchen knife and is just like sticking it in his mouth. That was horrifying. That was so gross. I actually was like in a ball and like... Anyways, this is going in, you know what? Yeah. The Phoenician Scheme. I love Benicio del Toro. Wes Anderson has some movies I like. Asteroid City, criminally underrated by the way. Really like that one. Fantastic Mr. Fox, everyone liked. This one, I really wanted to like it. I really like the premise of this kind of like billionaire businessman who reaches out to his estranged daughter. Is like, I want to put you on like a trial run as my heir. And she's like a nun, so she is, you know, thinking about how can she use her father's resources and money for good. Like, that premise and those relationships, like, that's such a good idea. But in this movie, I was bored. I think, yeah, this is gonna go and we're gonna need a better script. Next up we have The Life of Chuck. This was cute. It hit really hard for some people. It just hasn't really stuck with me like that, but it was a really cool concept. I don't have anything like special to say about it. I think this is gonna go in, you know what, yeah? I think I'm gonna put it at the front though. We're gonna start getting controversial! Materialists. I saw this the day after it came out with 2 of my friends, and we had a really fun time at the theater. We were in the front row and we were like this, which is not ideal. The song Japanese Breakfast made for it. I thought the themes were interesting with how people date, especially now. Some people are definitely going to disagree with me on this, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but I thought they did a pretty good job at handling a rough topic. Not everyone agrees with that, and that's okay. It feels like there was very little chemistry built up between Dakota and Pedro and Dakota and Chris. I'm stuck between, you know what, yeah, and we're gonna need a better script. I'm gonna put it at the top of we're gonna need a better script for now. Actually, you know what? Just because I had a really fun time at the theaters, this is going to the end of, you know what, yeah. And so I can be a little controversial because a lot of people hated this movie. Next up, K-pop Demon Hunters. Okay, I feel like I need to explain the circumstances in which I saw this movie. I saw Kpop Demon Hunters at my college's SCAD's Film Fest, and let me just break this down for you. Theater full of art kids, specifically like animation, sequential arts. SCAD audience is the best audience, period. Like, I love seeing movies here because it's so fun. Everyone is so reactive. And honestly, going into it, I was like, oh, these people are gonna be singing. I'm gonna get annoyed. Let me tell you, first song comes on, whole theater singing. I think I was the only person in there who hadn't seen this movie yet because this was in October, so like months after it came out. And tears came to my eyes because really good music. I don't even know. Some music just makes me cry. And then these people really, really cared about this thing and they were singing and so passionate about it and it made me cry. Anyways, I had an incredible theater experience. This is going in that indescribable feeling. Next up, we have whatever Jurassic World movie this is. What is this? Rebirth? Golly, golly, golly. I did not like this movie. Saw it in theaters. I want my $20 back. It was a little bit better than Until Dawn because it had a cute dinosaur, so there we go. Next up, we have Superman. James Gunn continues to be the king of superhero movies. Rachel Brosnahan is the perfect Lois. David Corenswet is the perfect Superman. Nicholas Hoult, great pick for Lex Luthor. The only thing I didn't like was the whole bit with the pixel reality rift river. I just did not like that part. I thought it looked bad and I was just like, alright. Oh, and then just the kind of fallout from this movie where people just felt so compelled to be kind for no reason and to no benefit to themselves. Like, what if being kind is the real punk rock? Like, that's a Superman movie. This is going in that indescribable feeling and it's better than K-pop. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Look, it's a slasher movie. It's not trying to be good. I had a fun time in the theater, but it's not a good movie, you know? This is a good movie if you have a bunch of friends over in like the summer or something and like you're like chatting, like put this on. I still think I'm gonna put it in. I have a bad feeling about it. About this, it was not. But it's going at the top. Jurassic World, Until Dawn, just suck. Don't watch it, waste of your time. I Know What You Did Last Summer, not good. Not good. You would still, like, I think, maybe have fun watching it, depending on the kind of person you are. Okay, next up we have Sorry Baby. Not a lot of people went to see it because no one could tell what it's about, which after watching it, yeah, I don't know how you would market this movie. And I don't think this is a spoiler because it's what it's about, but essentially this grad student is SA'd by her mentor professor and then he quits her university like the next day, so it's about her kind of experience and just about how that affects her life years after the fact. Honestly, I thought it was a really good movie. It's one of those movies where not a whole lot happens, but emotional piece that isn't like hyper dramatic. The lead actress also directed and wrote it and so impressive. I'm really, really glad I watched it. But like, yeah, I don't know how you would market that. I'm kind of between, you know what, yeah, and that indescribable feeling. I'm gonna put it in that indescribable feeling, I think. Next up, we have 28 Years Later. Guys, I was really excited for this movie. I was also confused why they didn't just wait a couple years so it would actually be 28 years after 28 Days Later, because we're not that far. Amazing trailer. Maybe the best trailer of the year, so creative. 28 Years Later. I hate the way it was edited. I hate it. Like, the cuts were so weird and the shot choices were weird and I was like, what's happening? Like, a third of the way through, there was just like an almost like edit sequence that was like the trailer, but it just like was weird to see that in a movie. Like, there were some really great moments in this movie. For me, it's like soured by like how weirded out and annoyed I was by the editing choices. I think on a rewatch I would like this more, but for now, this is going in, we're gonna need a better script or we're gonna need a better editor. Next up we have weapons. I really liked the first half of this movie. I thought, especially with the teacher and Josh Brolin, father, this kind of community ensemble drama where we're seeing different perspectives surrounding the aftermath of this tragedy. Like, I thought that was so interesting, but it felt that it got a little unserious with Aunt Gladys. But I just felt like they were from two different movies. It seemed like the writers needed an out, so they were like, let's do a witch. And that just felt like a cheat almost. And the teacher's POV, like, I was like, oh, this is gonna be like an allegory for school shootings or like a metaphor for school shootings. And then with Josh Brolin having that dream with like the giant gun hovering over his house, I was like, okay, that's a little on the nose. And then it just felt like after his POV, they kind of lost that idea. I don't know. And Gladys was cool, like, don't get me wrong. No one come in my comments like, why are you hating on Gladys? I'm not. It just felt like she should have been saved for a different movie. It could have been a really, really good movie. But it was just like, okay, yeah, like creepy moments. I'm gonna put it in, you know what, yeah, you'll go there. Next up we have Thursday Murder Club. I watched this for David Tennant. He's one of my favorite actors. It's cute. It's just kind of like, okay. It's not trying to be like anything heavy hitting, you know, it's like, it's a Netflix movie, it's based on a book, it's old people solving murders, you know? I'm stuck between, you know what, yeah, we're gonna need a better script. I'm gonna put it here. You know what, yeah, but at the end. Okay, up next we have Caught Stealing. This movie was bad. It was bad. I really wanted to like it. It was bad. It was like if the annoying film bro from your Film 100 class somehow was able to make a movie on a $40 million budget. Ooh, there was one part I liked. I liked the Jewish mob bosses. They were really funny. Who are those actors? Liev Schreiber and Vincent D'Onofrio. I butchered the hell out of that. Anyways, this is going and I have a bad feeling about this. Ooh. Ooh. The Roses. Yeah, this was not good either. I really wanted to enjoy it, but it's like an hour and 40 minutes and it spends an hour and 10 minutes getting to what the movie is about. It just, I think they want to like explain like the family dynamics and have like the whole build up, but it just drags on, and then the last 30 minutes are good. In between, we're gonna need a better script and I have a bad feeling about this. I think right after watching it, I was more on the we're gonna need a better script, but now I have a bad feeling about this. Oh wait, hold on, it's better than Caught Stealing. Twinless. I'm a twin. I really thought Twinless was gonna hit. It just didn't. I'm not quite sure why. I don't have a lot to say about it. I'm just gonna put it in, you know what, yeah. Ooh, big ticket item. One battle after another. I loved Benicio del Toro in this movie. He was the best part in my opinion. For me, it would have been way more successful if it was framed differently. If the daughter, Willa, Chase Infinity, was the main character and the audience's bridge into that world, it would have been far more successful. If we find out about her parents' involvement with the French 75, I think it would have been much stronger if we were to find that out with her. If it was, yes, about like the same plot events and like the Sean Penn villain and all that, but if we were learning about this world through her eyes and coming from a place of idolizing the mother she never knew and then finding out that mom was a rat who abandoned her. I think people, especially when this first came out, people were really praising its like political message, but I found it just beat around the bush and didn't really hit the nail on the head. Had its moments. I think a solid 30 minutes could have been shaved off of it. I'm gonna put it in, you know what, yeah, but in the first spot, I think, yes. Next up we have Blue Moon. This is an odd one. It's kind of cool the way it's written like a play. Was this a one? No, it wasn't a, there's no way it was a oneer. It feels like a oneer, because there are no like, I guess like jump cuts. It's all one night and the amount of time it covers, like the literal amount of time these events happened. Ethan Hawke is playing Larry Hart, who was Rogers of Rogers and Hammerstein's original writing partner. The dialogue was really interesting. I don't know, something was like missing in it for me, but I don't know what. It's gonna go in, you know what, yeah. A lot of things are going, you know what, yeah. I think I liked it more than Life of Chuck. I don't know that I liked it more than Weapons. Frankenstein. I could talk for hours about Frankenstein. I read it when I was like a junior or senior in high school, as I think most people do. And it never gets faithful adaptations. Like, people have this vision of Dr. Frankenstein being this like old mad scientist in a castle and he builds this big dumb oaf creature. That's not the story. That's not the story. Victor Frankenstein was a college student in his 20s who essentially cooked this thing up in his dorm. That is so funny. That is so interesting. I'm just like, yeah, you kind of have to be 23 to do some shit like that. Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein isn't a like completely faithful adaptation. He took quite a lot of liberties with the story, but at its core, I think he really understood Mary Shelley's work. It's a gorgeous film. Jacob Elordi is absolutely insane. I hope he wins Best Supporting Actor. Like, love Benicio del Toro as well. I think he's nominated for One Battle After Another and he's great, but Jacob Elordi just absolutely floored me. It's a great movie. It's not the pure faithful adaptation I had hoped for, but it did do justice to the source material, and that's what is important. And it definitely had Guillermo's own flair. I'm caught between Absolute Cinema and that indescribable feeling. I'm gonna put it in Absolute Cinema for now. Next up we have Bugonia, which I think everyone should see purely for the fact that it is probably going to be one of the weirdest movies you will ever see in your life. One of the primary things I noticed when I watched this movie was the score is just so good. It's so jarring. It's not beautiful. It's just like, it's so unsettling and perfectly fits the film. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't want to spoil it. Whacked out ending, not sure. Still, I saw this 3 months ago, still don't know how I feel about it. I think, like, objectively, it's a well-made movie. Interesting take on its kind of subject matter and conspiracy and all that. But I will say, like, the last 20 minutes, I was in a theater with some friends and I was, like, yelling at the screen. Like, involuntarily. Like, it was a wild ride. Like, I'm putting so many, you know what, yeah, this is probably bad. This is going in, you know what, yeah. I liked it more than Weapons. I'm at a standstill between One Battle After Another and Bugonia, so. Hedda, okay, this is going in that indescribable feeling. Essentially, evil bisexual ruins party for everyone. I really like this movie. I don't have a whole lot of intelligent analysis of it. I just like had a fun time. I was entertained. This one I think is underrated from this year. I would recommend it. You should watch it. It's on Prime for free, if I remember correctly. No Other Choice. I really like this movie. I thought it had Best International Picture in the bag. Didn't even get nominated. I had never seen anything by Park Chan-wook before. I thought this was so good. It was shot beautifully. It's a dark comedy, and I thought it was hilarious and supremely entertaining. It's going in Absolute Cinema. Testament of Anne Lee. No one saw this movie. No one saw this movie. I thought it was so good. Most movies I think are best enjoyed in a theater with other people. Kind of like concerts, you know? Like sharing in this enjoyment of this art with other people. Like, I just think it's so important. Depends on the movie, but like I think a lot of movies just do better with an audience. Testament of Anne Lee, it's not even about the audience. I just think this movie was meant to be viewed in a big space, on a big screen with large speakers. Like Sinners, it pushes the boundaries of what a musical can be. It's about Anne Lee, who's a real woman, a Shaker, who the Shakers believe to be the second coming of Christ, because their logic was if God made men and women in his image, the second coming has to be a woman. I thought this movie was so good! Look, if I watch it again, like at home, I'm probably not gonna get that same feeling, but I had goosebumps the whole time. The music was so good. I was feeling what those people felt. I was like, yeah, wow, I would enter religious psychosis for this. I'm putting it in Absolute Cinema. That was a great movie. Christy, When I saw this in the theater, I contemplated walking out many times. Christy's story is interesting. It's really interesting. I just thought the way it was written was so generic boxing movie. I felt like we didn't get a whole lot of sense of the stakes for Christy, of the emotional impact her life and her choices and the choices other people made for her were having on her. We only see her lose once. And like in the whole buildup of her career, she doesn't lose. Which, look, Christy Martin had like an insane win rate. Like she was great, so, you know, but I feel like in these sports movies, we need to see the protagonists lose so we feel that they're imperfect and we can root for them to win. It's hard to root for someone who you only ever see win because you're like, it just, that's their natural states. I'm not gonna spoil the ending. The ending was insane. I thought, because people are gonna ask about Sydney Sweeney. She had her moments. There were like 3 scenes where I thought she was really good, and then in the rest of it, I thought she was flat. This is something I have noticed in her work where Sydney Sweeney has a couple really great moments, and then just is flat for the rest of the project. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna put it here at the front of We're Gonna Need a Better Script. With time, I'm less mad at it. In the moment, I was like, Die My Love. This is the last one I watched. Like if we're going in like order of me watching it, I watched this morning. Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson. It's about postpartum depression. I think it did a good job capturing that, and it was shot really well. But finally, it's a 2-hour movie, and I just felt like it wasn't especially compelling or entertaining, which I don't think, it's not trying to be. It's about postpartum depression, but I find that the movies that are about postpartum depression tend to be not as compelling as I think the people who made it hoped it would be. So this is going in, We're Gonna Need a Better Script. But I'm gonna put it in the first spot. You already know. Hamnet, my favorite movie of the year. Absolute cinema. It was, oh my god, I'm gonna cry, what the hell? It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I mentioned earlier with Twinless, I'm a twin. I was an absolute wreck at the end of the movie. I feel like this isn't even a spoiler. This happened, what, 400, 500 years ago? Basically, let me explain. Hamnet the movie is based on Hamnet the book, which is a historical fiction based on what we know about William Shakespeare's life, but it's from the perspective of his wife. It's her perspective on raising their children and being Shakespeare's wife. And when he wrote Hamlet, which many people believe to be kind of a memorialization of his son Hamnet, who died very young. Hamnet was also a twin, boy-girl twins, and just, so obviously I really saw myself in there, and guys, this movie made me feel sick. It was amazing. I was literally ugly crying, snot coming out of my nose, tears, an absolute wreck. I saw it with a bunch of friends. We all came out and we were like, and like leaving the whole theater, everyone was like, at the end they played On the Nature of Daylight by Richter. I like 3 notes in, I like put a hand on my friend. I was like, they did not. It was devastating. It was beautiful. I don't know the last time I was in a space with that many people experiencing the same emotion informed by this art so effectively. It was amazing. Which brings me to, is this thing on? Because I saw it right after Hamnet. I saw these two back to back. Is this thing on? Is Will Arnett playing like a stand-up comedian, like this father who's like going through a separation from his wife, and he just like falls into stand-up comedy, and like the very beginning of this movie I like actually went to the bathroom and stared at the wall because I still felt like ill over Hamnet, which also Hamnet is like a really hard movie to go against. I'm trying to like give credit to Is This Thing On for like my harsh rating, because holy shit, I just came out of Hamnet, but it's just okay. I would put it in, you know what, yeah, I'm gonna put it there. Yeah. Okay, guys, this is my other favorite movie of the year, Rental Family, which no one saw it. It's gotten no awards buzz because there was like no marketing for it. This was one of those movies where you leave and you just feel hopeful, where you think we're not completely f***ed. It was so sweet, so earnest, really interesting. It's about rent-a-person kind of services in Japan. People will like pay an actor to act as like a father or a friend or a girlfriend or any of these different kinds of roles. The primary storyline is he pretends to be the father of this young girl to help her get into a school. He's hired by the mother, and the girl doesn't know that he's not actually her dad. But it was so funny. I laughed, I cried. It was awesome. It's going in Absolute Cinema. Put it right there. If you watch one movie from this video, watch Rental Family, because I think it is the one that people watching this video are least likely to have seen, and I think everyone should. This movie means so much to me. Moving on, Sentimental Value. I saw this with my dad. He really, really liked this movie. I also really liked it. Not slow. I think it's compelling, but it's I feel like it's very normal. It feels like really grounded in reality, which is a good thing, but that's not the kind of movie for everyone, you know? But the performances are amazing. I think it's a beautiful film. I'm gonna put it in that indescribable feeling in the first spot. There's a scene with Stellan Skarsgård and Elle Fanning on the beach, like they like sleep on the beach at Cannes, and like in the morning they get up and he like calls her like this like horse carriage that's like on the beach, and it's just like, that was my favorite part of the movie. It was really cute. I feel like it's not really spoiled. Next up, Train Dreams. The second he had that kid, I knew, I'm not gonna say, but I knew. Beautifully shot. For me, Sinners and Train Dreams are tied for best cinematography. They're both so good. I really like this movie. It's kind of one of those movies that are just about how even simple life is beautiful and meaningful and important, which I really like that message. I'm like caught between that indescribable feeling and you know what, yeah. I have a lot of you know what, yeah, so I think I'm gonna put it in that indescribable feeling, I think. Okay, next up, Eternity. This one was also really fun, really cute. Best rom-com, I think this counts as a rom-com we've had in a long time. Fuck, I don't have that much to say about this one, but it was a really good time, and I'm putting it at the top of that indescribable feeling. Zootopia 2, there's only 2 animated ones on here. Really solid sequel. Guys. It's going in that indescribable feeling. That feels weird. There's like serious stuff in here. I'm like, Zootopia too. Also, the people who made this movie 100% knew about the abortion comic. If you know, you know. I swear there were references to it. I've never read it, but I know what it is. Like I've seen like pictures from it. Next we have 100 Nights of Hero, which I think actually more than any other movie, I think this is the movie from the year that no one saw. Charlie XCX is in it, which is crazy. I don't know how to describe it. It's like, it does not take place in this reality. It's like a made up reality. This like guy doesn't want to consummate the marriage with his wife, and they're like in this cult that like punishes women for not bearing children, for reading, for being gay, for like any of this stuff. He like leaves and he has this like wager going with his friend where he's like, if you seduce my wife, she'll die and you'll get the castle from me. And if you don't get her, he gets like something from the friend, I don't remember what. Cherry, the main character, her lady in waiting. Why am I explaining this? I feel like I need to because no one saw it. She's like telling these like stories to like get Cherry through to not be seduced. Really weird, really good production design and lighting. Chemistry, yeah. I watched this with my roommate and we were like gasping. We were like, weird core erotica, I don't know. But also PG-13. They nailed that chemistry in a above the belt way, shall we say. I feel like that's crazy. People are gonna flame me for this. Yeah, you know what, yeah. There are so many you know what, yeah. You know what, Thursday Murder Club, like, there's not that much wrong with it, but like, I feel like I'm gonna put it, and we're gonna need a better script, just because these metrics are annoying me. Avatar 3. Crazy performances. Varong, Quaritch, amazing. Varong's design was so good, and I felt that they completely underutilized the ash people. It was just more wave water. It was still with the whales and all that, and I just would have loved to know more about the ash people. I think the movie should have started with like kind of like, I guess, a flashback of the ash people's like forest burning down, and have it be like a parallel to Neytiri losing Home Tree in the first movie. Because I really think Varong and Neytiri were meant to be foils. Like for me, the core storyline should have been kind of Neytiri's like Materia has suffered so much, has lost so many people, and has still maintained like her connection to A1. And they do have like their moments, but I just felt like they were not utilized as foils to their full extent. I need to stop putting stuff in you know what, yeah. But I think this is going at the top of you know what, yeah. It could have been better. There were things I liked, but it just felt like they spent so much money and time on developing the equipment for underwater motion capture that I think they just wanted to stay in that realm. Super excited it got nominated for Best Costume because the costume designers like actually built all the costumes you see on the Avatar so that they could get like the weight and the movement of them right, which I think is why the Avatar movies look so good. Like I think one of the biggest tells with CGI is that things don't have weight to them, but because of the mocap and because of all of the care that these costume designers and all these other artists have put into it, like it just feels so real. Last but not least, Marty Supreme. I wanted to be able to hate. This was one of those movies where I saw film bros who are like way too into Quentin Tarantino were like glazing this movie on Letterboxd, and I was like, we'll see about that. This was a really good movie. I was like, no way this needs to be 2.5 hours. Honestly, pretty valid. I didn't really get bored during it. I'm between absolute cinema and that indescribable feeling. There was something about the character of Marty Supreme, which I think was like the point, but it just, oh, where did it go? Oh, it went to the top of that indescribable feeling, which is probably where I'm gonna leave it. I didn't feel like he had that much of an arc. I mean, he did at the end, I guess, but I just need more of a moment of beyond. It doesn't even enter my consciousness. But it was really good. Would recommend. It is worth the hype. Wait, am I done? That's my list. I hope this is helpful to you guys. If you agree with my takes, let me know. If you disagree, also let me know. I'm really curious. What do you think is gonna win Best Picture? For my money, it's gonna be Hamnet. I think that's gonna get Best Picture. Jessie Buckley. Everyone knows she is getting Best Actress. It's not a race. Look, the other candidates are also great, but Jessie Buckley, man, wow. Anyways, that's my video. I don't know, I kind of want to be posting on YouTube more again. I really like making videos. If you like film and like vlogs and want to see what a film and acting student gets up to, like and subscribe, Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy my takes and this wasn't too rambly, even though it definitely was. And hopefully I'll see you again soon. Alright, bye-bye. I love Challengers. That was my favorite movie of 2024. Also, there's Challengers everywhere for those with eyes to see. Eternity. Eternity is the Challengers of this year, by the way. That whole situation could have been solved if they did Challengers. I feel like somewhere in Hedda, there were a lot of dynamics. Somewhere in Hedda, there was a Challenger. 100 Nights of Hero, Challengers moment. Yeah, I think that's it. Those are my Challengers of 2025.